they've priced or underpriced commodities for so long that now you've got you have structural issues. I mean, take silver. Silver is in a structural deficit of what, 400, 500 million ounces per year. And if you could make the case that there's 200, 300 paper ounces for every 1 real ounce that exists. If silver goes failure to deliver, I guarantee you within 72 hours, so will gold. And when gold goes failure to deliver, the financial system as we know it is done. My opinion is commodities for so long now, since the 70s, 80s, have been controlled by paper contracts. Mm-hmm. And what's happened is they've overshorted contracts throughout the entire commodity spectrum. And, that's fine, except for taking into account the real world, real supply and real demand. So what they've done is they've priced or underpriced commodities for so long that now you've got you have structural issues. I mean, take silver. Silver is in a structural deficit of what, 400, 500 million ounces per year. You could make the case that there's 200, 300 paper ounces for every 1 real ounce that exists. Utility is not the right word, because think about all the uses for silver. I mean, you've got medicinal, industrial, technological. I mean, every time they launch a Tomahawk missile, that's a monster box flying through the air. The thing with silver is that there's end use for it. I mean, when gold gets bought, gold is money. Gold gets, like Warren Buffett says, it gets bought, and then silver is such a small market. I think at current prices, you're looking at maybe 30 billion total production worldwide for a year. It's just such a small market in relation to gold, and you can't have silver exploding. You couldn't have $200 silver, in the short term. You couldn't have $200 silver and $3,500 gold. I mean, the ratio would completely collapse, and that would lead to a failure to deliver. If silver goes failure to deliver, I guarantee you within 72 hours, so will gold. And when gold goes failure to deliver, the financial system as we know it is done. The deliveries were made. It was said back then that it was because of the tariffs. I don't really. I think gold was being onshored or brought back. And another thing that's going on that almost no one's talking about is that you have foreign central banks that are demanding gold back from the Fed. And if you remember 10 years, 12 years ago, Germany requested, 320 tons or something like that. And it took them over 3 years to do it. And at the time, they were saying that, it's too much weight. It can't be done. With Boeing 747 cargo planes, they can carry 95 tons each.
What if the U.S. government can't deliver the requested gold back?
That completely breaks all trust in the United States. Would you ever do business again if you were a foreigner? Would you ever do business again with the United States? And they've already come pretty close to that by sequestering Russia's $300 billion in forex reserves in treasuries. And now they're taking the interest from that $300 billion, and they've been giving it to Ukraine to fight Russia. The dollar would get smoked on that. I mean, there's no question about it. If you go back to just to get back to what I was just talking about, the Russian reserves, you go back and you look at a chart of gold, and you can see to the day, it was October of 2023, I think, when gold lifted off and came out of the range of the, 1,700 to 2,200 or thereabouts. But the following day after that was announced that those reserves or those treasuries had been sequestered, gold all of a sudden kicked into it started looking like a tractor in first gear going higher. And
Yeah.
that is a function of trust.
Is
You
there
know,
some? Go ahead.
Foreign central banks just looked at that and said, hey, wait a minute, if they can do that to Russia, they can do
No.
that to us. We'd rather hold something that we actually hold, we know cannot go bankrupt, we know cannot be diluted. It's God's money. But I think we're going to go through at least one, maybe two resets before we get to the final reset, the Mother Nature reset. The first reset, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to try to do some type of central bank digital currency or whatever, stable coin. It's still going to be fiat. And I don't think that that's going to last much more than, I don't know, maybe 6 months. Could be less than that. Could be a little longer than that. But I think we're going to go through a reset, and they will mark the price of gold up on that reset. But we're still going to have a fiat currency. And whatever the end result, as far as what the world reserve currency is going to be, it will be tethered somehow, ratio backed or whatever, to gold.